Hey, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. A while back, I done a couple of comic suggestions, and one of the titles that popped up was 2000 AD's Amazing Flesh. Now, I kind of glanced over it, and I gave a brief synopsis, but I'm going to go a bit more in depth with it. It's an awesome comic. It's written by Pat Mills, one of the greatest writers and creators of 2000 AD comics, and it essentially tells the story of in the future. The world has had such a food shortage that corporations and governments are sending mercenaries and ranchers back in time to harvest and round up flesh, yes, meat from dinosaurs, and it kind of hints at, well, this may be how the dinosaurs went extinct, and it's a crazy fucking story. You follow the character of Earl Regan, who's a rancher, and very kind of reminiscent of two of the characters from Valley of Gwangi, and he's kind of breaking in the new rookie, and the rookie's constantly questioning, well, will this not have a bad effect on the future, and like, you know, will the dinosaurs not revolt? And that's what happens. Uh, in the process of a roundup, he ends up injuring a tyrannosaur and taking out her eye, and she becomes known as the Hag, Old One Eye, and chases him and his crew across the Cretaceous landscape, where he ends up in a colonized dome run by a very sinister chap by the name of Carver Claw, who had an encounter with a velociraptor and now has his hand replaced with a claw. This comic is awesome. It is, if this was made into a movie, it would be R-rated gold. I mean, people are getting murdered by snakes. People are getting torn to pieces. It's a crazy fucking book. I mean, check that out. It's awesome. There was a follow-up that focused on Carver Claw, ending up he ends up taking a time displacement kind of capsule and ends up going back even further to an offshore platform that harvests flesh from prehistoric fish, and he ends up pissing off a creature by the name of Big Hungry, which is this kind of plesiosaur creature, and it's pretty awesome. Like, just the artwork is amazing, and for the time it was a very gripping comic. 2000 AD later went on to do a couple more ones, The Legend of Shamana, that's her name, and the artwork in this is amazing. Pat Mills, Tony Skinner, and Carl Critchlow. I have the first part here, and the second part is essentially I have it framed because I adore the artwork. I mean, check out the artwork in that comic. I'll give you a closer look. Is that not fucking amazing? It tells the story of a feral woman who was, her mother was a slave by one of these corporation leaders, and she ended up being raised by tyrannosaurs, and she decides to lead a revolt on the human interlopers with her and her crazy kind of bunch of dinosaurs. There's some really cool bits in it as well. There's even nods to 2001: A Space Odyssey with these kind of primeval humans, and it's amazing. Again, very gory, very cool. The last one they had was Chronocide, which sees Earl Regan as his punishment for what happened being put into the same kind of offshore platform that Regan worked on, and he has to deal with all kinds of prehistoric nasties and stuff. And this one seems to lampoon and kind of take a lot of nods from Jaws, which in itself was a big inspiration for a lot of the kind of monster 2000 AD comics. Shaco and Flesh are kind of analogies and plays on Jaws. And they had also kind of environmental kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you fuck with nature, nature's gonna fuck back with you. But yeah, the artwork on this one was pretty cool. And I think there's another short little comic here as well. I shall see if I can track it down. But yeah, Flesh 3000 AD, and I love the artwork on that one as well. The artwork on that is fucking amazing. They did do a reboot and recently, and it's all right. the artwork is very kind of, it's where you take a picture and I think you paint over it, or you kind of, you don't bother drawing the human characters. You use scans or still frames and put them into the artwork. It did lead to a bunch of kind of spin-off kind of characters in the 2000 AD universe. You have Santanas, who is a grandson of One Eye, this T-Rex who's just bombing around the cursed earth, eating stuff. And I think in one of the storylines, Judge Dredd pursues a perp into the cursed earth and ends up meeting with this cult who worship the ravenous T-Rex and is nearly fed to him. But yeah, it's a cool comic, and if you wanted something that was like Jurassic Park but had a kind of R-rated twist, this would definitely be the comic to go. You can't beat the first volume of Flesh. It's pretty cool. I do know that there is a kind of complete collected compendium called Flesh the Dino Files out there, and if you get a chance, definitely check it out. But again, the artwork, I just love the artwork, even though it's old style. I just, it's really cool. Like, there was one kind of picture that I really wanted to kind of get on a tattoo, and I'll see if I can find it here. But yeah, if you're into dinosaurs and you like gore and you like science fiction, this is definitely the way to go, because it's so fucking badass. The art style and the goriness of it. You'd never see this in a kind of Universal movie, but yeah, just it's cool. Just look at, I mean, look how fucking gory and crazy that is there. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's fucking over the top. Oh, this is the one. This is the picture that I adore. It's on the cover as well, but just take a look at that. That is awesome. Just Earl facing off against T-Rex. Flesh, if you're a dino fan and you like comics and like science fiction and like a lot of gore, highly recommend it. This has been the Trash Picture Show. I'm going to be starting Jurassic June on Friday. I'm going to be doing a Jurassic June tag, and I'll also be reviewing another one of my favourite movies of all time, because it's my birthday on the 1st of June, Jurassic Park. So stay tuned for that, and if you have any questions or queries, leave them in the comments below. Have a good one. Take care now. Bye.